million trees will be planted. To what extent, which states have been?
No, it says 6 million. No, you see, we have the Great Green Wall that caters for 11 states of the north where we have the issue of desertification. So an agency known as the Great Green Wall is dealing with that. And then federal government is also supporting it. And then there are also monies from the multilateral agencies. So that is our major concern. Now, but there's also the Forestry Institute that's also helping to plant trees, to also help with dealing with the issue of climate change. We still have gully erosion, we have coastal erosion, especially in the south. So the Forestry Institute is also helping with dealing with that. And then the ministry itself is also supporting. But the bulk of the fight against desertification is coming from the Great Green Wall, an agency of the Federal Ministry of Environment. So they have enough money, but this money is completely outside the budgetary provision. Some of it comes from the federal government directly. So I believe that they are doing well in that regard.
How many states? What
11
are those
states.
What are those states? Are they in the north or in the
south?
south?
No, it's not like Jigawa, Sokoto, Borno, Kano. There's just most of the states within our northern axis. There are 11 of them.
Is there a time frame attached to it?
It's still an ongoing project, so they roll it over from year to year, and then federal government start providing money from the 3% budget for erosion control.
So, sir, some of the international conventions on climate change, to what extent is Nigeria complying, given the fact that they are very passionate about this?
Well, you see, Nigeria is determined, to ensure that we roll back the issues of climate change. So we've done what we call our national determined contribution, which is things we need to do, to ensure that we're able to meet up the requirement, of the Paris Agreement. Besides, Nigeria has also launched its own energy transition program, moving from the usual fossil energy to the green energy. And then, of course, we were together, all of us were in Glasgow, to follow up with what other world leaders are doing in that regard, especially the issue of the grid, the new highway grid, that are going to provide alternative energy to most of the countries. So I believe that Nigeria is one of the countries in Africa that signed on it. Nigeria and Kenya, I believe the only African countries, that have joined the Great Grid, initiative, which was launched in Glasgow, and our Minister for Environment is also following up in other sectors to ensure that we are able to reduce the CO2 emission. Tragically, Africa, is one of the countries that are hit most, with climate change, but we are the ones that emit the lowest. But believe that with the new initiative, Nigeria, Africa will contribute using the number of sunlight we have, and then also benefit more because we're going to have sufficient energy, to power the various countries.
Can you throw more light on the loan that has been recovered, which we started? You say 16 billion something was.
We last year, as I said, there was 6 billion in the environment budget for the servicing of a multilateral loan, regarding to erosion control. Now, regrettably, I think about 1.5 billion of it was released to the environment, and later the Minister of Finance wrote saying that it was a mistake, that was supposed to be for the service-wide votes from where they service most of the loans. So, we took it in good faith. But surprisingly, we now got another 16 billion, for the same reason in the Minister of Environment. And because there was a directive from the leadership of the National Assembly that we should not tamper with monies that provided for multilateral loans and all of that. So, but we decided to find out what it's all about. So, eventually, we now invited the ministry, who now said that by the time they got the envelope, the money they sent to the ministry to distribute within the agencies, now there was no such amount. So, by the time the money came to the National Assembly, there was this 16 billion for the servicing of the new MAP loan. Now, we now further asked, when is this money due for servicing? They say it's a 10-year, it has a 10-year moratorium. So this project started in 2013. So if 10 years is 2023. So that means we're still in 2021. So we cannot be providing for it until then. And then we also found out that there are states, I think about 21 states are benefiting from it. And these 21 states are those that will pay the loan, not the federal government. So it's either we wait until, even if it's federal government, we want to wait until 2023 before making provision for it, or we ask the states to start making provision for them if they have to pay now. And even if the federal government has to pay, it has to go through the service-wide votes, not the respective budgets of the MDAs. It's wrong. So I just pointed it out to the chairman of the Appropriation Committee so that I can take it up with the Federal Minister of Finance so that I'll be able to fix this anomaly. It's untidy. So but that's why we do the budgeting, to scrutinize this. So there's something abnormal. So we're just doing our work. So that's where the issue of checks and balances comes in. So now we've raised it. We believe that we'll be able to sort it out, without embarrassing the government.
Thank you, sir.